Hello everyone, Pure Station here. Welcome to a new news segment. Um, so to start this off, we'll start with what is the elephant in the room this morning or last night, depending on whenever you see this upload. Is the what they're calling the Master Dragon Knight Retrain, which is really not what it is. It's the best Blue Eyes card that we've received ever. Um, and is it going to be viable? I'll explain the ins and outs of that. Also, we got Ancient Gear and Lightsworn cards. Lightsworn was pretty good before, and I think they're going to be pretty good now that they've got new support. We'll see. Let's start going over some of the cards and see if they're any good. So, we got the Ancient Gear Dark Golem, which little late Earth Machine. Going to use second effect of this card's name on its turn. Card name on the field becomes Ancient Gear Golem while on field or in grave. Cards normal special summon, you can add up to 2 Ancient Gear cards or Gear Town from your deck to your hand, except this card. Then discard 1 card. Also, you cannot set cards for this turn. I don't know how relevant that is in the deck. I've never played Ancient Gear. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spells or traps until the end of damage step. So it's 3,000 body. I mean, it's not terrible. Okay. Ancient Gear Tanker. Gonna use each the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. When spell summon, you can spell summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, except Ancient Gear Taker. If your opponent controls a monster, you can spell summon this card from your graveyard instead. Oh, the monster you special summon them. If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon it from grave instead of the hand. Pretty good extender, honestly. It's not bad. I hate that it's induced to a normal or special, but maybe there's a way to cheat them out. I don't know. Excuse me. Back one day and I'm already sneezing. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card once per turn. It's a level 4 Earth Machine effect. You can send 1 Ancient Gear Golem from hand, deck, or face that field of the graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 Ancient Gear monster. That's pretty good. If you normal or special summon Ancient Gear Golem, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear Golem from hand or graveyard, ignoring its summon condition. Banish this card from your graveyard. Place 1 Ancient Gear continuous trap from your hand onto your field face up. I hate that's hand though. Is that ever gonna be relevant? Because so far it's the pieces are starting to fall together. Which I kinda like, but not Ancient Gear. I don't know if you get all the things in hand and then they do things from there. I assume how it has to play because none of it's from deck. Which is kind of slow, but we'll see. I mean, it could be fast. I don't know. I don't think so. Ancient Gear Advance, which is their new continuous spell. You can only activate this card's. You can only activate this card once per turn, which that's already bad. You cannot set cards to turn you activate this card. I mean, that's kind of irrelevant because the trap you can just activate it from hand. Same as continuous spell. When this card's activation resolves, you can add 1 Ancient Gear spell trap from your deck to your hand. Except, this card. Once per turn, you contribute 1 monster you control. Draw a card. Also, this turn, you can normal summon Ancient Gear Golem or a level 5 or higher monster without tribute. So that one's really good. That's a really good card. The first effect, the second effect, the condition it applies kind of sucks, but the first and second effect of this card is actually really good. So I can't really, I'm not really gonna say much on this card. This card is actually really good. So, there we go. I'm gonna use second effect of this card once per turn, and this is continuous trap. It's ancient gear duel. Ancient gear monsters, ancient gear golem, and monsters that mention it control are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects. Okay, so that's a really good trap. Putting off. Where do I have cats? I have cats everywhere. Second, if your opponent controls a monster, you can fusion summon one fusion monster that mentions ancient gear golem by banishing fusion materials from your field and graveyard, including ancient gear golem. And the special summon monster can make up to 3 attacks per battle phase. Turn off my computer. I'm not paying attention to them. Not gonna happen. I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, I am back. Make sure, yes, that is recording. Awesome. So let's get into some lightsworns. How about this? This is the Dragon of Lightsworn. You can only use each of the first, second, and third effects of this card once per turn. Okay, so it's got 3 effects. That's already good. The Lightsworn monster is in your graveyard. You can spell summon this card from your hand. It was just in there. Resummon. This card is supposed to summon. You can send one Lightsworn from the deck to graveyard. That's broken. If this card is sent from deck to graveyard, add one monster with 3,2600 defense from deck to hand. Okay, this card is like not okay. This thing does way too much. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big Lightsworn dude, but that's a really good fucking card. Holy shit. Also a level 4 effect, if I don't know if that's any relevance to any of you. This is Whis Lightsworn Archfiend. I only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. Not as broken as Dragon, because it has 3 effects. You can place one Lightsworn monster from hand on top of the deck, special summon this card from your hand, then send top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Are you fucking kidding me? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Lightsworn in graveyard. Special summon it. Holy shit. Next, I guess? Oh god, there's a fusion monster. I've seen that shit. This is a synchro. This is Minerva, the Lightsworn of Athena. You can only use the first and third effects of this card once per turn. It is a tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners. Oh boy. This card is synchro summon. You can send Lightsworn monsters with different names to the graveyard, up to the number of Lightsworn monsters used for its synchro summon. Fuck. Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effects. That's fucking broken. You can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard. Send the top cards of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number banished. Whoa. Okay. Enlightenment Dragon. Level 10 light, Dragon Fusion effect, 1 Judgment Dragon plus a Judgment Dragon. Now, I don't know how relevant this is going to be. It depends on what that trap is, I assume. Must be special summoned by banishing the above cards you control. That may have just, changed my mind. Wow. Not okay. Okay. So quick fact, you can pay 2,000 life points, banish all of the cards from both players' fields and graveyards. That's why you're relevant. And not be banished by card effects. So you keep your field and you banish all your opponent's shit. You get rid of the graveyards, but you don't really give a shit at that point. During your end phase, and the top 4 cards of your deck graveyard, yeah, it just fucking loads you up again. This card is destroyed by your opponent. You can add 1 Judgment Dragon, 1 Punishment Dragon from amongst your banished cards to your hand. Then you can special summon both added cards, ignoring the summoning conditions, because it just does that. Okay, that's actually cool. Lightsworn AGS. Null Trap. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of lightsworn monsters you control. Negate those targeted monsters, or negate those targeted effects until the end of the turn. Card is sent from the deck to graveyard, you can set it. Okay, so that's actually cool. That's gonna be a trigger a lot of people miss. So this lightsworn support is actually really fucking good. So this is like a tier 1 lightsworn. So I'm actually gonna start picking up lightsworns because I used to play them back in the day and they were like okay, but this support really fucking good. Really good. So definitely pick up lightsworns. I don't know about the ancient gear stuff. I'll look into them, see if there's like any mojo there. I don't think so. Lightsworn, chef's kiss. Like holy shit. Now, real card everybody's been waiting on. Is this Master of Dragon Magia? This is the quote unquote Master Dragon Knight retrain. It's not. It's not. Go ahead and tell you, it's way better, it's way easier to make. Not that difficult. Depends on how you play the deck. I will say. For me, I will have a strategic way to get this out. Getting this card on the board is not hard. You have to play pure Blue Eyes though. Can't splash it. Throw some bullshit in there. The way you actually make this card, I've already mapped it out. We'll get to it when we get there. Is it says 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or 3 Blue Eyes monsters and a Chaos Ritual monster. So you basically what you do is you max out on melodies. You actually have to play Being a Machine Go at this point because you have to be able to get to them. And yeah, it's $20 a card. I don't want to play for a card that's like a slot machine. You have to. You don't have a choice. If you want to be consistent, you want to go off, you're gonna have to do it. There's no choice. Trade in. Don't know if we'll have to use trade in, but it might be as like a 2 of or whatever. You'll basically be on a version that hasn't been seen in a while. I'll do the deck profile for it. It's completely pure. The reason that you do this is now Blue Eyes has a monster that can do something. That's the difference. If this thing is outed, it brings itself back. That's the main reason behind this card. So, let's go ahead and get on with its effects, what it does, and why this is a good card. I already knew this was coming out. I already knew. I just didn't know when they were going to announce it. I didn't know what it was called. I knew the artwork. I didn't know. I heard rumors of its effects, and the effects are right. I didn't think they were going to be like this. They are. So this is a good card. So this is Master of Dragon Magia, a level 12 light dragon fusion effect. Fusion materials is 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or 3 Blue Eyes monsters and a Chaos Ritual monster, which is really fucking good. Must be fusion summon. Step 1. When your opponent activates an effect, you can activate this effect. Then for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate this card's effect in response to that card type. Monster, spell, trap, negate the activation. So, what this means is, if this hits the board, and we've made it to this point, and you're like, oh, I want to nib here, you can chain the Master of Magia here, you negate it, and then if you try to imperm in the same chain, you can negate imperm. And then if you try something like lightning storm, you can also negate that as well. Which is kind of awesome. So this thing has 3 built-in negates for monster spells and traps, which is absolutely wild, which means it can negate evenly. So the combo trap variant can be played with this card. This card now gives Blue Eyes players a reason to play the deck. It's got 3 built-in negates, which makes it really hard, and they are once per turn on those 3 negates, which means this card is one of the hardest cards to out today. It's a really hard card to out. I just say, well, you can drop with it. Sure, you can dark rule it. Yeah, fine, it'll work because you can't respond with it, whatever. But Blue Eyes cards are really good, and with having this and Tyrant and the Dragon, Dictator, or whatever side support they decide to throw in here, I hope it's of relevance, will make this card good. Beyond itself, it's really, really good out of the gate. Really good card. I'm gonna start tweaking it, start messing with it, seeing what I can do. But we all know that getting, a ritual monster to hand is not that hard, especially in this deck. This deck is really easy. You can do it with Melody. It's the easiest way to do it. Again, you're gonna play it pure. You're gonna put your own spin on it. Get you some hand traps. That's basically what you're gonna do. You're gonna load up on hand traps. There will be a certain engine that's played. I will put out the deck list for it. That way you all can see it. I didn't want to build Blue Eyes until I knew that they had a really good card, and we now do. So now I can start piecing it back together, and I can show you exactly how you play this. If you're going to play the deck now, you might want to pick it up now and not later when this becomes a really good strategy. Now, I'm going to say it's tier 1. One card will not make it tier 1, but this is definitely a good rogue or a tier 3 option. Now, this card could be better than I think it is, but I don't think the one card is going to impact and change the problem the deck already has, which is it does everything the same way every time. So I'm gonna put a little spin on it, see what I can do, but it has to be played pure. You can't do no Dragon Link stuff to get it to work, because the deck will conflict too much and it just will not operate the way that it's supposed to operate. So let me know what you guys think of this card in the comments down below. I think it's a great card. I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's awesome. I think this is just what everybody's needed. But if you guys have any questions on this, leave them in the comments down below. I'm Pierce Nation. We'll see you in the next video. Pierce Nation out.